Hi, congratulations on your new RV. We're really excited for you. Please make sure before you're signing that you bring the following items with you. If you're a cash buyer, please make sure that you bring a cashier's check, no personal checks at time of signing, or you may bring actual cash. If you're a finance customer, please make sure that you bring proof of insurance listing your specific lien holder. If you need that information, please call us ahead of time. Also, make sure that you bring all valid driver's license of all persons that will be listed on the title. If you have a trade that you're trading in with us, please make sure that you bring your 10-day payoff as well as your title and all persons who will be listed on the title of that trade. Arrive 30 minutes early before your appointment time so we can properly inspect your unit, and also make sure that you have the fridge on and running prior to arrival. If you have any questions, please feel free to give us a call at 810-686-0710. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
Hello, this is Mike with TradeWinds RV Center, here to congratulate you on your Catalina Legacy Edition 243 RBS travel trailer. I'm here to walk you around it, show you how to use a few things, get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite. A couple of things to take into consideration when parking. On your campsite, your awning. Of course, on your off campsite, your slide. You have plenty of room for that to come out unhindered, and leave yourself a nice walking path. Because the next thing I want you to think about is where your power and water connections are going to be. Your power is going to be all the way at the rear on your driver's side of your tow vehicle, and your water just around the corner for that little docking station there. So park accordingly so you can utilize the facilities at the campsite. Once you arrive, first thing you do is level your unit. You have a power tongue jack on the front. Night docking lights should you arrive at night. Simply raise or lower the unit until you're level. You also have a manual override right here. A hand crank down in there. You can bring this up and down without power. Speaking of power, check your battery posts when you arrive. Make sure those haven't wiggled loose. Now we've got our unit level. Next thing we're going to do is stabilize it. All four corners of your unit, you have these stabilizing jacks. 3/4 inch hand crank. Simply crank these down. As I run them down, I'm going to mention stabilizing jack pads. Jack pads are going to protect the feet of your stabilizing jacks from dirt and debris and hot blacktop in the summer. Pick a 4-pack up of those with your 10% off coupon. Put them on the ground and run these down just until they're taut. Remember, these are stabilizing jacks, not leveling jacks. You only want to bring them down until you're stable. Once you got all 4 of those down, got our unit level and stable, we can go ahead and hook up our power and water. So again, your 30 amp cord, big long cord, plugs in back here. Ready to go on now. It says pistol grip here. They go on to the left, kind of wiggle it in there and then twist to your right, and then put your black washer on. At the end of that 30 amp service, should you need to plug in at home, your convenience pack is a 30 to 110 adapter. Now let's hook our power up. So as you see, we have to bring down our accessory hitch. Simply remove this cotter pin. I've removed the one on the other end. I have to grab the tire. Allows you to set this down a lot easier. City water connection. First and foremost, your water pressure regulator. This water pressure regulator is going to reduce the water pressure to 40 to 50 psi, protecting the lines in your unit. Use this when putting water into your city water tank or your black tank flush. Hook that up, hook the hose, but don't turn our hose on yet. Let's come around and find your hot water heater. Here's going to be on the off camp side, right around the corner. All we're going to do at this point, make sure our drain plug's back in. Get that back in there nice and snug. This one has a rod. Plumber's tape is preferred. Get that in there nice and tight. Then once that's in there, you can go ahead and turn your hose on. And if your hose has been on for a little bit, go inside and open up your water taps. Once water's coming out of those, you know the air is out of the lines, and you can go ahead and turn on your hot water heater from indoors. There is an electric element down here set to off. The only time you ever want to turn that on down there is if you're hooked up to 110. Let's say your water heater, it doesn't seem to be working. We'll come outside and look here. If these are bubbled out, it's a reset button. Just simply press it back in, and then your pressure release valve. So let's say we're gonna go camping, we're not gonna use city water. We're gonna go dry docking. Well, in that case, your potable water is over on your campsite. Right above your tires here is your potable water or freshwater connection. Simply fill this up with a hose. No need for a water pressure regulator. You can tell when it's full two ways. One, there's an overflow valve right here, or two on the inside where you check your levels of your tanks, your battery. Hold your freshwater button down, that'll tell you when this is full. But just remember, when using this potable water is when you're going to want to turn on your water pump. Don't turn on your water pump when using city water, it's already pressurized. Alright, we're all set up to camp now. Water and power is on. Go ahead and walk you around the rest of the outside of the unit here real quick. So this is a flue for your furnace. If you run your furnace to clear that, it'll get rather warm. Again, your fresh water. A vent for your microwave. Your outdoor speakers and party lights on your awning. Prep for a TV out here. You can put a table out here and 110 and cable. There's a manual override for your slide. So your hitch work in your pass-through storage area. Again, your stabilizing jacks. Your propane does have a cover. It is on a regulator. Simply point it toward the tank you wish to be using, lefty-loosey to open. Battery disconnect. This will disconnect all the battery power to the unit. This will come important later when I talk about your carbon monoxide propane detector. Then you pass your storage over here. Your big slide. Come to the back corners where your power, cable, hot water heater. And here's where we'll dump our tanks at. Come back around the corner. Next to our city water connection is our black tank flush. We'll talk about that when dumping our tanks. And an outdoor shower and a holder for your shower handle. The accessory hitch. And lastly, a leash link. If you got a pet, great place for them. And underneath here are your low point drains. We'll dump those when leaving the campsite. We do have a quick connect LP if you want to grill out over here. And that about covers everything on the outside. Let's go take a look inside your unit. First thing I like to point out when coming up to any unit is the fire extinguisher. Make sure that you and everyone that's camping with you knows that the fire extinguisher is located at the entry doorway. Immediately to our left is the control panel. Turn on our interior lights. Here's our exterior light control. Here's where you turn on your water pump if using potable water. Here's where you turn on your water heater. Up here is your battery, your fresh tank. That's when you can tell when your potable water is full. Black and gray tanks. Your slide control, your awning control. Your awning, you're only going to want to run that out until you see that flap fall down to 90 degrees. You've got this silver bar. That's how far you want to run it out. As you notice, it will run past that. So pay attention as you bring that in. Or out. More so out. So bringing that back in. We'll mention you got a 110. There's a couple of USB ports here. Up on the ceiling is your smoke alarm. And your awning is closed. Exterior lights off. Let's finish going around your unit. It's coming into the kitchen area. Do you have a lot of one-touch lighting throughout the unit? Self-explanatory microwave. Your stovetop here does have a light and a fan. Glass top makes an excellent backsplash. You have a panel light. When you turn it blue to red, there's your flame. Same thing on the oven. Turn it to light here, hit your spark down here, and then set it to the desired temperature. No need for a pilot light anymore. Turn this panel light down, it becomes an oven light. Below your oven, access panel to your breaker box and fuses. Got a ton of 15s in there, a couple 40s. Highly recommend having a handful of those with you when you go camping. To the left of that is your safety alert 12 volt carbon monoxide propane detector. The reason I mention that's 12 volt, that's always running off your battery. So if you're boondocking, you have nothing plugged in charging your battery, you're going to be gone for the day. Use that battery disconnect to keep this from running your battery down while you're gone. Fridge with a safety latch. Over here is your thermostat. Let's turn our air on here. So air kicks on. Set the air off. Air shuts off quickly. We will turn on your furnace. Shut that off. Now you'll notice we're shutting the furnace off. It takes a few minutes for that fan to actually shut off. Coming into your bathroom, I want to mention this is where your 110 with GFCI resets at. Your lighting. Make sure this rubber piece is on here for travel. You have a hand crank open power exhaust vent in here. 110 there. Lift your tabletop up. Those legs will remove. Set your tabletop on these lips right here on both sides. Put your back cushions on top of that for extra bedding. Piece here. Your sofa will jackknife down into another bed. Lift up from the front. Grab the back to bring that back down. Coming over to your Connex TV. Now for your Connex TV, this is the new eTV. Your remote is set up by location. Zone A is going to be indoors, Zone B is going to be outdoors. You can set this up, play your music, radio indoors. You can have Bluetooth outdoors, TV indoors, radio outdoors. Several different ways to set this up. You will go to the source up here. That'll take care of your TV. Okay, station's coming in. You have to run your auto scan, channel scan. But component, HDMI's, 3 different ones, Bluetooth hookup, FM radio, and media. Below that's your fireplace. Not just for looks anymore. Yeah, I can go through and show you all the pretty colors. But the biggest thing is heat. If it's chilly in the morning or evening, instead of using up your gas to warm it up, turn this on, plug that in, crank that heat up, and it'll get toasty in here in no time. Save your gas. Here's your lighting from in here. Separate television. 110 USB ports next to the bed. One touch lighting up here. You have a nice storage area here under the bed. Separate smoke alarm here in the bedroom. One out here. And that about covers everything on the inside. So let's act like we're leaving the campsite. Let's remote down here. Doors and drawers. That's my biggest thing I like to say. Make sure that all doors and drawers on the unit are closed. Nothing's going to impede this slide from coming in. And then we're going to make sure we go through and shut off all of our lights. I like to shut off the interior light here. Then I can look to see if any of them individual lights are on or not. Slide out in. Again, you see how the importance of having that door closed, the drawers on this closed. They utilize just about every inch on these things, so make sure you have nothing in the way to impede your slide from coming in. When you hear that, it's okay to hear that. That is just your slide mechanism keeping itself from coming in too far. Coming out. Make sure this exterior door is all the way open. Otherwise this will not close. Lift your step zip. Turn Turn this to the angle, and that'll lock your steps in. Lock and deadbolt your exterior door. Lift and turn this handle, and that's ready for travel. Unhook our cable, water, and electricity. Bring up all of our stabilizing jacks. At this point, come up underneath here, dump those low point drains. Come around here to your hot water heater. We're gonna open this up. Lift up on this pressure release valve. It's gonna dump a bunch of hot water out of there. Once that's done, close that, otherwise your door won't close. Then you can pull your low point drain on your hot water heater. Hook up our hitch and head on up to the dump station. Now at the dump station, park accordingly. Your dump's gonna be all the way at the rear of the unit on your driver's side. Once you're parked there, you got this 10-foot hose. Hook it up and pull our black handle. After that black handle sounds like it's no longer draining, leave that black handle open. Come to the rear, again with your water pressure regulator. Hook up the hose at the dump station to this black tank flush. Turn that on, let it run for a good 5 minutes, washing out your black tank. When that's done, close that up, close your black handle, and pull your gray handle. Your gray handle is going to be your cleaner waters, your sinks and your showers. That'll clean your sewage hose out for you. Then you can conveniently and sanitarily store your store your sewage hose right there in your bumper. Again, thank you guys so much for this purchase. We hope you enjoy this Catalina for many years to come. Happy camping.